Hey, what's up? How's it going? It's Tom here with episode 61, I think. Ugh. Yeah, me talking. It's good times. Lots of stuff, a lot of thoughts, a lot of feelings about, video games and other things like cartoons in a movie. You know how it goes. You know how it is on this show. It's that, again, but with me, instead of other people. Just me. So, it was fun. I enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed myself listening to myself seconds ago to do the time codes. So, one would imagine you will feel the same. Is there anything else I need to say in here? I don't think so. I think I say it all in the show. But yeah, I was good. You is good. Enjoy.
This is your brain. And this
is your brain on Tom.
Hey, what's up? I'm here. I'm back. It's Tom. How are you? Welcome to Your Brain on Tom, episode something. It's been a little bit of a week, and I'm 2 Red Bulls deep. So let's ride this flame out. See how long this goes for. Yeah. So I got to start a new job, so everything's like crazy. I had to get up at 4:30 this morning, so I was all like nervous that I wasn't gonna wake up on time. So I slept like shit. Also, I was raiding, which I'll get to in a second, but that causes me to be on these 2 Red Bulls because I was so tired. I was dying. But it's been a pretty sweet job, actually. Just taking school pictures. It's like super easy, super relaxed. Get to read a lot of manga. It's pretty nice. It's like not too, it's way better than like sitting at a desk all day. Like, oh, hey, look, I get to do things. Take a few very, very basic pictures and then just move on. People pay me. It's wonderful. But yeah, so I've decided that even though I wake up at 4:30 in the morning on occasion, that I would attempt raiding at this level. Bad choice. Bad life choices. What are you gonna do? But I have cleared Old Deer 3 times now on normal, which isn't like amazing. Like it's because it was at first it was like, oh, this is really cool, but now it's like a job, and it's like, all right, we're going in, doing it again, and like, oh my god, these people can't do this one mechanic or whatever. And it's like stupid, but I've done it enough times on normal. I would like to do heroic, but like my guild raid's kind of later, so unless like where I'm going for like the job the next day is not like an hour away, so I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. I could probably manage it, but even then, it's probably a touchy one. Also, I am terrible because I switched specs. I was playing Assassination for years, and I just recently switched to Sub, which is a lot more fun. There's way more buttons, a lot more going on. It's a lot more to like manage. There's less to manage on the target, which is kind of what all Assassination is just keeping Rupture and grow it up, and then like I guess in deadly poison and stuff like that. But like, so there's less like dots you're keeping up. You only really have 1. You're just kind of like trying to manage combo points and energy, which I think is really fun. Like you're just kind of like constantly, because every time you enter stealth, if you have the 1 talent, you get 25 back. So like you get a 4th back every time you do anything with stealth or shadow dance. And I have 3 charges of shadow dance with the 1 talent. So you're just constantly like jumping between like not stealth and stealth. Really, you're just pretty much in stealth as much as you can. Just to like constantly gain energy. So like you don't really take vigor, which would give you 150, 170. Is it 170 with Assassination, 150 normally? I forget how much vigor actually gives you that talent. I forget. But you don't have to take that, so you can take Mark of Death, and then you work that in with actually, so you have like things where you can just automatically shove 5 combo points on something every 30 seconds, 35 seconds, something like that. But if the target dies, it resets. So I love Mark of Death. I wish that was like more. I wish it was standard with all rogue classes. I always think it's really neat. But yeah, Sub is just fun. There's like so many more buttons. Like I've actually like run out of like places on my keyboard. Well, out of where I like to keep my hands on my keyboard. Because I like only really keep it to like 5, and then like use Q and E and R even. Yeah. So I have like 3 little buttons and then that, and I try to keep it like, and I actually use F too. I forgot about that. Yeah, I use F. So like I try to keep it all like right around my hands, but I'm like running out of spots. Like on Assassination, once they got rid of the artifact ability, which I really liked, because that was just another dot to keep up every 2 minutes or whatever. No, it was less than that, maybe 45 seconds or something. You got this extra dot you would put on something, and now they've gotten rid of it. So like I had like an extra spot on my thing, and I was like, I don't have anything to put here. Like I'm out of moves. There's like very little with Assassination, and like Assassination is strong. Like I know it's killing it in like PvP, and I think all of the top rogues for like method and shit were rolling assassination, I think. I'm not sure. Outlaw's really good too right now. So I'm not sure if it's weird. When you look at like the simulation numbers, like sub is like way high, but like everyone's playing assassination or outlaw, which is usually how it goes. Sub is like always like the theoretical best spec, but like it's like either too hard to pull off or like the way the fights are working with like how you have to move or do something. Like it's like it'd be better if you just had like a bunch of dots on them so you're keeping up a consistent damage as opposed to like high bursts when you can get to the target and stuff like that. So it's always weird. Usually about like the end of an expansion when like gear is like it's past a certain threshold, everyone just plays sub because it's just the stronger spec. But that's been happening for years. So I imagine that's going to happen again. But I haven't played sub in so long. Like since it was like back last time I played sub, Shadow Step was the last talent. So that was Wrath BC. No, Wrath added Shadow Dance. So actually I attempted it once with Shadow Dance, and I at the time was like I don't understand how this works, so I never played it again. But I was playing the one with Shadow Step, and then got to, oh no, wasn't that the last talent? It's the last 60 talent. Maybe there was one more at 70, I forget. But like, that was like the big draw. Like, oh, you have this Shadow Step, you can just jump to a target. That's so cool. Ninjas are cool. So that was like the last time I've really even attempted it. I remember I was leveling in like Ungoro Crater when I played with the sub. So it's been a long time since I've used sub. But they've changed it so much. It's such a different thing. All the rogue specs are so different now. So it's just kind of neat to be like, I got kind of, because like actually, a funny thing, the reason I started playing it was I was going assassination, and like my damage wasn't amazing, especially, here's the thing, on trash it's not very good, it never is. You really have that many like options to like, cleave or anything, and I was in a group, they were a guild, like 3 of the members, and their druid tank was like doing better like trash DPS than me, and I was like they were like mocking me, they were like making fun of me, and I think the reason it was because the one guy got gear and then was like, "Oh, does anyone want this?" And I was like, "If no one wants it," the typical thing that people do these days when you run a mythic. And then like I just got it, and then the one other rogue or whatever, he was another like a leather user in the party, was like no, you gotta roll for it, and I was like, bro. Like, you already have the same eye level of this thing. It was like a 340p side, like a 325. I'm like, bro, it's cool down. But he just like threw out the rest of the thing. He's like, oh, okay, but still fuck yourself. And I was like, all right, whatever. And then him and his guildmate just like harassed me the whole thing. And I was like, this is dumb. I hate these people. But I was like, maybe they're right. The one guy kept saying like, why are you even playing assassination? It's so bad right now. And I was like, what are you talking about? Because I was just looking at the Sims for the old deer tier, and like assassination was like wicked. I was like 3rd on the list. Like, what is he fucking talking about? It's like. So I wasn't sure if it was like, oh, it's with raid gear, it becomes way better or whatever. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just try something else. And once I like tried the 2 specs, like in like on a training dummy, I was like, oh, sub has like better damage. And I was like, this is like, there's a lot more going on. So I attempted it in a mythic and I fucking sucked for a while. I was like, this is so much harder. Oh my God. And then for some reason I just stuck with it. It's because I did island expeditions with it. I was like, oh wow, I can actually like kill the little NPC alliance guys really fast. This is really fun. And then just kind of kept sticking with it. I was like, oh, okay, now it's all making sense. So. And now I feel like I'm getting better with it, so that's pretty good. But yeah, the raid's pretty neat. I don't know. I wish it was something like cooler than like what it is, because it's kind of bland. Like I'm not gonna like I don't hate what are they? What the fuck are they? The Titans, like the Titan buildings or whatever, and they're big constructs and holding prisons, these various prisons for elder gods. Like it's kind of a cool idea, but Gahoon's just a big slug. He's kind of dumb. His fight's so cool though. Like, I didn't click. There's so many fights in that are really cool. Like, Mother, super cool. And, like, I don't know how a lot of these are even done in LFR because, like, how complicated everything is. Like, with, like, communication. But, like, Gahoon is really cool because, like, you have these 2 things on the side where you, like, throw this little, like, orb and then dunk the orb. And then once you do it 3 times, I think, or maybe it's different based on difficulty, but I think it's 3 for at least normal and heroic. Then, like, a big laser beam comes down and stuns every, like, enemy. And I think it hurts you, too. I think. I don't know. I think our healer's just good. So, like, I notice my health, like, moves a lot, but I'm not sure what's actually hurting me. So, like, but it's stunned. And, like, there's you get this debuff, and then Gahoon throws this big, like, thing, this big ring on the ground. If you stay in the ring, you lose your debuff, but it summons a really strong ad based on how many debuffs were shed to put this thing, so it can be really, really tough. Like, we've all shed one, and it was like had like a stack of, like, 75. It was like really hard to kill, and then we beat it down. Like, oh, this is really tough. And then it happened again, but at that point we hit the third ball, and then the big laser beam came down. I'm like, oh my god, I see how this works now. This is so cool. So like, you want to shed the thing, and then the moment the thing spawns, summon the big laser beam, it dies. You can then fight Gahun. Gahun loses a bunch of health on that part too. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Mother's really cool too. A lot of people like having to communicate and like having to move a lot and stuff. I like fights where you have to move a bit more. And then there's like Fed to Devourer, where it's like, especially a normal Fed to Devourer, so dumb. Such a dumb fight. So brain dead. You just like stand there and stab it a whole bunch. And it's like, oh, I summoned an egg. And you're like, whatever, we'll kill one egg and then just continue. It'll out damage what you heal from the egg. I don't even care. And he has like the Stomp and Heroic, which is probably like a lot cooler. But I actually don't even know how like a lot of the things change in Mythic. I was watching some of the Method, like World First attempts on Gahun. And like, I don't really even know what was different there. No one was talking. It was really weird. Like, even, like, the guild leader was just, like, sitting there quietly playing. So I don't know who was, like, talking or what. I eventually saw, like, later on, they had, like, commentators who were, like, trying to explain things, because I have no idea. I don't even know if they wanted the players to, like, speak through while they did it or something. I don't know. But it was weird. It was, like, a weird thing to watch, because it was just, like, silent. Some of them didn't even have music on their stream. It was just silent, their face, their game, and then them, like, dying a Gahun and then, like, restarting and trying again. I was like, this is really weird. I don't know why we're like this. It's like this. But it was neat to see them like beat it for the first time. That was kind of cool. Yeah, well, it was fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I got to play it more, which is never like a good thing. And like I got all these other games that I love playing so much, like Monster Hunter, so great. Came back with a vengeance, beat Behemoth. So I beat him, and it was like this fucking tough battle. I've researched people on the internet. That was like a first. I just like found like a really old website and like just posted like, hey, I'm looking to beat this thing. And then people from all over the world, literally all over the world, tried to contact me like, hey, let's try this. I had a guy from Australia who was Colombian and now living in Australia. And he was in Perth, which is exactly 12 hours difference from where I am. So setting that up was really weird. Like if we played at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night here, it was 8 o'clock in the morning there. And he had like set an alarm to wake up. He had like a night job, so it kind of worked out, but it was really weird. And then this other person reached out to me, and that was who we beat it with. This girl, this like random girl messaged me, and I thought it was so funny too, because like while we were talking, I almost didn't even bother, because I'm like, everyone I've paired up with is terrible. I don't want to do this. I'll just find some randoms until this works. I'll just keep pugging it until it works out. And then I was like, you know what? I'll try it one more time. And so like they're like, oh, sorry to bother you, just in case, but if you're still looking to play, and I was like, you know what? Sure, all right, fine, we'll fight. We'll do Behemoth. And then like the day we had scheduled to like play, they were being so nice. I'm like, this is so weird. Why is this person so nice? And then once we got into the voice chat, I'm like, oh, it's a girl. Of course. That's why they're so nice. They're just like a more pleasant person. And like I've been talking with this person forever now. Like they just keep, like we have a lot in common, so we just keep talking. But yeah, we beat them. And that was cool. It was a big struggle. It was very, very scary, but we did it. And then a couple days later, I just started joining up random pugs. And I beat it like 5 times in a row. No, more than that. Yeah, 5 times in a row. No, it was 5, because I think I'm at 8 kills, and 3 of those kills, no, it would be 4 in a row then, because 3 of those kills were with a loss. Because if he does that last Ecliptic Meteor, he still dies. It counts as you killing him, but we lost all the lives, so we failed the quest, but still killed him. It was weird. It's like a weird thing he does. But we beat him, and then I just grinded out a whole bunch. I'm like, this is so crazy. Why all of a sudden I did it once, and now I can do it all the time? And like I think in that day I did it, I think I only failed like twice. So we had like and it wasn't even me. It was someone else like on their first attempt, or like, you know, whatever. They're just a low hunter rank. They're not very experienced in how to do certain things. So they just died, and I was like, all right, whatever, we'll try it again, and jump right in. There's some people that I did it with one guy. His hunter rank was 999. And he was amazing. We killed it so fast. I wish I could remember at the time we did it. He had a heavy bowgun, which is like very there's a lot of if you can look it up. There's like 2 dudes who like duo heavy bowgun like in 6 minutes kill Behemoth. It's so weird how fast they do it. And like you can see like them like stunning him, and like they kind of stun lock him. And then every time he gets an opportunity to move again, he might even like shed all of like potential like stun damage. He's not like really stunned, but he's like a weird like state where he can't really act. Like he might have a point where he has to like force himself out, because he has to literally move rooms for like phases to move on, and like he would like, and I've done this before too, where like you kind of get him in like a loop for a while, and then you get him to the second phase, you hit him once, and he does all his mechanics, and then he goes to the next room. I've actually made this happen, but they would do that every single time. So like, they'd like beat him up a whole bunch, and then he would move to the second room, and then he would drop a bunch of comets, and then he would just equip the meteor like immediately, and then run away, and then go to the next room and drop a bunch of comets, and then run to the last room. Like, it was really weird how like he was just like weirdly like forcing all of his mechanics. And I don't even know if there's like a limit to how many comets he can cast, because in the last room, he just started dropping comets crazy. He had like 6 dropped, which I've only seen like maximum 3 in that last room. So I don't know if it's like a weird, like, he has to hit this quota or something, in like code-wise, but it's a pretty, this guy level 999 was like just blowing it up. I think we blew through it in like really short, maybe 15 minutes or something. It was like really fast. It was crazy. He did it so quickly. He was so good. But yeah, I've just been like running into like other really good people, and just like, oh no, I guess either everyone got really good. I'm playing with the Japanese, like it was a lot of Japanese players, so it's possible I just like logged in at the right time, or it was just I was just feeling it. I don't even know. It was really fun though. Like I got all the stuff now, like all the Final Fantasy stuff. Even though I don't really use a lot of it. Like I don't have like the I've never even used the insect glaive really. I attempted it back in like beta, and I was like, this weapon's weird, so I just didn't stick with it. But I have the insect glaive and the max kinsect, which is like a little dragon spirit. And then I have all the Moogle armor for your cat, all the armor for me, and then the now there's the Autumn Festival. And so that started, and like that's dope as fuck because it brings everything back, including a couple things we never even got over here in the States, like they did a thing in Japan with their Universal Studios, USJ, Universal Studios Japan. And it's like it was like a little thing where you get like this armor set and a weapon, I think, if you did like these certain quests. I don't even know how, I honestly don't even know how they all tie in or like what any of it means. It's just labeled as a USJ quest. So that's that, I guess. I don't really understand how it works, but that's what it is. And then like it was only over there, and they finally brought it over here. So there's like a full armor set we couldn't get now, but they also brought back all the arc tempered stuff that I missed, because when I had stopped, like Lunestra like just came out. And then I kind of came back when, it was Behemoth coming back. That's where I came back. So I came back like 2 weeks into Behemoth. So like there's this gap of stuff I missed. Like Arc Tempered Kieran, Arc Tempered Valazak, and stuff like that. So I wanted to attempt Kieran, because there's a build I found online that I was going to try, and it involves the Arc Tempered Kieran belt. And I was like, fuck, I need this belt, because everything else was the Behemoth armor, and I have all that. So I was like, all right, let me try to find this stuff, and da-da-da. So once I got that, and I two-shotted the Arc Tempered Kieran. I almost did it in one whole like attempt, but I forgot how to fight Kieran, which was a weird problem to have, or just like, I don't remember what I'm doing, because like Kieran's weird. If you just know what Kieran's going to do, and weirdly enough, I actually learned more about Kieran doing the Arc Tempered fight. Like when he does a little prance thing in a direction, every like footprint he has will be a lightning bolt in a minute. So like if you watch him like run away, you just step back and like let him shoot off like the 6 or 7 little lightning bolts or whatever. But pretty much, he's like pretty easy, and I don't even understand what the Arc Tempered Kieran did differently. I don't know if he like added a mechanic, because I know like Valazak, you can just get what is it called? The little poison thing you can get that like put your health bar at half, and like I think it slowly kills you or something. I forget what it's called. It's the disease that he does with his breath, and I think in Arc Tempered, his whole body just like irradiates it, and like he'll just always be like casting that. Because I've never like changed my armor for Valazak ever. I've never just been like, oh, I'm fighting him, let me make sure I have all of the anti-death disease thing. I'll make sure I have that on my decorations or something, or my armor. I have never bothered, because if you just avoid his attacks, you never get affected with it, and the few times you do, you take a null berry, a fucking max potion, not max potion, the mega potion, and then just continue fighting. Like you can really just avoid a lot of the mechanic, and you're just like, whatever, I don't care about this. Like so apparently that one adds the mechanic, and then I think like the Arc Tempered Daustra, like his what the hell is his move called? Supernova or something? Whatever the thing is, he goes in the sky and explodes, and it just radiates fire, like 3 waves of fire. It's like a nuclear bomb goes off. Like, it's just insane. I think I did attempt that one once. And then that's what happened. Like, he just, like, exploded, and, like, 2 people immediately just, vaporized. Like, it wasn't even, I don't even know if, like, you could stop it with fire resist. Like, you just die. They were gone. But, yeah, I just kind of but Arc Tempered Kieran, I couldn't tell you what he did differently. I have no idea. Like, it seemed like, because all of his moves normally, like, really hurt. So, I don't know if Arc Temper Kieran is just, like, what Kieran was back in, like, low rank, when you're like, oh my god, this thing's so hard. Like, you just, that where it's like, he hit you with one move and you instantly die, like, or whatever. I don't know. It was, like, not that bad. And if I just did, like, the high elemental resist food, and I just had, like, 22, I think I had, like, 22, lightning resistance. I was like, all right, I'll take most of these hits. I'll bring the lightning proof mantle or thunderproof mantle, sure, and then the temporal mantle, which is broken. So I'm just gonna use this whenever it's up. So it wasn't like that bad, and like I could really like, and it's like I'm saying, I don't think it added like even like a mechanic. It was just like if you understand like he's gonna do a move and then he doesn't do anything for like 2 seconds, so dodge the move and walk up and hit him in the face while he's like recovering. It's like he's like pretty weirdly easy. So I two-shot him once I got used to him. Got my belt, and then I will farm decorations until I die. It'll be great, and then I'll finally be able to attempt that build. I think I have enough for like this Japanese website that like I guess they like I don't really know what it is because I happen to like find it later. Because I was looking up like a tier list of weapons just out of curiosity, like what people think is the best. Because I think they're pretty balanced, but I was curious if like there was like a thing that people in their mind were like, this is the best weapon. Because like, you see a lot of like Charge Blade or something in the West. So I was curious, like, what is it that people think is the best weapon? So I like looked it up, and there's this Japanese website that like does builds and tier lists that are like community driven. So like, I don't know if it's like community members submit a build and then people vote on it, and that makes it like the best one or whatever per weapon. But I figured like, oh, let me just see like what is the best weapon, and I looked it up, and like dual blades in Japan is widely considered the best weapon. Like it's not even close. It was like 7,000 votes. The next one was like 3,000. Like it was like it was so blown out. Like this is the best weapon. So I was like, all right, what's the best build? And it's like this weird little thing. I tell you, it was such a weird looking build, and like the Google Chrome was like translating the website, but like nothing was translated exactly, so I had to like click on the skill, then see what armor gave that skill, but that was also translated incorrectly. So then try to figure out like, all right, it's rarity 7 and it has just this skill on it. Let's go to the thing and see all the helmets that are rarity 7 and have one skill on them and try to figure out which one this is. And then I like ended up writing them all down, and now I have like, so this is the set, these are the skills you need to have, and I think I have most of the pieces, so I might attempt that one and just go into the training room and see if it's actually good, because the one I've been running, I'm like impressed. I think it's like amazing. I just kind of like it's like a half workaround with the one I saw online that has like all of the behemoth armor and the Kieran, art-tempered Kieran belt, and like the Lunestra weapons, which I didn't even know Lunestra gave weapons, because I was not really playing when Lunestra came out, and those weapons are amazing, so one would imagine that those are the best. But I still gotta get, like, to make the YouTube build work, I have to really get a lot of decorations, which is a nightmare, but we'll get there. But it's been fun. I love that game. So fun. So much fun. And it's, like, weird. Like, I was just, like, standing around waiting for kids to come in and, like, take pictures, and I was like, man, I don't want to play Monster Hunter. Like, that'd be really fun right now. It'd be so much more fun right now than just, like, standing here and waiting for children to show up. Man, I love that game. It's so fun. And the other thing I've been playing a fuckload of is, the phone game for Kingdom Hearts. What a nightmare. I hate it so much. It's so dumb. It's such a terrible fucking thing. I hate it so much. But I play it all the time. And it's like so annoying because like Square Enix has like come to terms with like, nope, we're not gonna make the update work anymore. You're probably not gonna be caught up for Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh well. Fucking go on YouTube and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, Square Enix? Why do you do this? They're the worst. I don't understand. Especially now. Like, before it made sense, because, like, the Japanese version was, like, a PC thing. Like a browser game. And then you had to have it translated to the phone game. So, like, when, I could see that there'd be development time where things don't necessarily match up. But now they're both phone games, Japanese and English. You just have to translate it. What the fuck are you doing? I don't know. I don't understand. They drive me crazy. I just don't get it. They're just so dumb. It's, like, shocking how stupid they are. Most of the time. But here we are. But hopefully things will not be so stupid all the time with Square Enix. That'd be great. But I've been playing a lot of it just because, like, they give away a lot of jewels, which is, like, their paid currency. They really give it away, like, all the time. You can, like, earn a whole bunch every day if you just do, like, all the daily challenges. So you can get a decent amount of like just actual like money value items for like nothing. And they give away a bunch all the time. It's like, oh hey, we did an hour of maintenance. Here's 300 jewels, and like those stuff. Or it's close to like 3,000. They're usually like, here's a whole bunch. Just go away. And they gave away like 10K. So I like rolled on they gave all the foretellers. There's like the 5 people that run the old guild faction. They're called unions, but they're pretty much like a guild for like your thing. Or they're more like a faction. You have the faction for your thing. And then like they gave them out, and like I got the best one like right away, and I was like, well, might as well keep going. And then I kind of I got 2 others just by chance, so I'm like kind of rolling in it and kicking the shit out of stuff. I got like $1 billion lux over the last week, so it's just like I get so much fucking grinding, but it's fun. I enjoy the game. It's in a decent time. So when you get that the crawl up on the mechanics, you're like, I'm fucking bang this out. This will be amazing. But until then, it's always like, oh my god, I hate this. And then if you try to do it if you're like, I want to care about the lore about Kingdom Hearts, and this game seems like it'd be really important, and Square Enix is like, nah, fuck you. We'll deal with this later. It's like, what are you doing? How do you fuck this up? I don't understand. So that's always frustrating, but it's fun. When if the game was just like treated as like, just a phone game that you can dump money in with challenges, like that'd be fine. But you can't do that and do lore stuff and like fuck up both. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. It drives me crazy. You just pick one, stick with it, and I'm fine with either. And I kind of wish they would just like take all of the story stuff and just put it in its own tab and like, here's the story mode, finished, it's done, from point A to point B, and it makes fucking sense. It's the worst. Because like you'll go like, if you like play it like on a regular basis, like keep up in quotes, you'll lose it. Because like they spent like a year just going like beat for beat the whole movie of Aladdin. The entire thing. We haven't had a single story update in a year, like with the anime characters. We haven't had a single one like forever. And there's like crazy cool stuff in there, like Ventus being in this world, which is or this timeline, which is 100 years before the game started. And then like you see Marluxia's somebody, and he murders someone. You're like, oh, this is really fascinating. I'd like to see where this would go. And like nothing. There's been nothing for over a year. It's like, I don't understand Square Enix. How do you fuck this up so badly? It's just so annoying. It's so crazy. And like the Keyblade War was like skipped. Like I recently went back and watched the quest that was like the Keyblade War quest. And it's like, if you don't know this is when this takes place, you would just think this is it. Like this is, it never happened. Because it was like a weird like future sight thing, but like it's so poorly handled. It doesn't make any sense. It's so silly that they just fuck it up so often. It's just a nightmare. I wish they would just fix it, but they can't. And Square Enix just doesn't. They don't care. Whatever. What are you gonna do? Not play the game, I guess. But I digress. Yeah, but and like the thing is too, is like I'm trying to play like I keep wanting to play more of these like fucking like time commitment games. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like I've been craving Destiny 2. Why? Why, God? Why do you do this to me? I don't want to play Destiny 2. But something inside me is like, give it a shot. I'm like, no. And so I downloaded it again. I played like one game of that Gambit mode, which is like a neat thing, but I mean, if you had like a real controlled team where you get all 4 members and you're like a dedicated invader and people who are dedicated to killing certain things at certain times, you covered zones, maybe it'd be really, really cool, but I don't really care that much. It's just like, I've tried some of the Crucible stuff just to get like warmed up with the controls again. The game is so weird. So odd. Where you're just like, all right, I'm doing really well with this thing. I'm just shooting a gun. And like, oh, this guy shot up with a big ball of death and now I died. How do I stop this? You don't. Like, there's no like real counterplay around someone using a super. You're just like, well, fuck me, I guess. Like if they have a prolonged super, good luck. That's your life now. You die. Like you can't. If it's like the Void Arrow one, like the hunters have, if you like fucking miss that one, fucking fuck you. But if you're like what's the fucking thing? The whatever one shoots a big laser beam. I don't even know what that was anymore. It might be like a different one. Like that one just murders you and it just shoots forever. And they can just get into a room and do circles and everyone dies. It's so silly. I don't know. It's just a ridiculous fucking game. So silly. And it's like, I have to get all the DLC if I want to keep up. Like, I kind of want to try to keep up because I like making numbers go big. I like making the big numbers bigger. So, I got to do that. Like, I'm so behind. I'll debate it. a lot of friends who are playing it again, so like maybe that'll really persuade me into getting into it again. But as it stands, no, thank you. Just like too much. It's like I don't know if I want to play more Monster Hunter, so I probably would have to. I'm not gonna sacrifice Monster Hunter or WoW to play fucking Destiny. So I guess when it comes to just like I'm gonna want to play it, but then when like it comes to like I just need to sit down and pick a game, I'm not gonna end up playing it. So we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, man. I just wish more things like Monster Hunter. It's good times. Pokemon's not like Monster Hunter. No, it does not. It just makes me mad. Monster Hunter makes me happy. They announced I watched the tournament for Monster Hunter that they just did. The one in Japan for TGS. Absolutely delightful. They had a bunch of teams come from around the world. And they were like, hey, everyone, you got your little teams. And we're going to compete in these 2 hunts. And the best time wins. And everyone had fun. Didn't even matter who won. It was Japan, obviously. They're so much better than us. And like Taiwan did this crazy thing in the first hunt, and it was like, oh my god, they're using like this is so fascinating. Like no one had the same setup, no one went in with the same build. Well, you don't really have the build. You pick a weapon and it has like a loadout. So like no one went in with like the same team loadout. Was it Japan? Took the first hunt with double hunting horn. I think it was Japan. Like what is that? That's crazy. This is awesome. And like I got to see like how it was done. It was like you have like a main damage dealer, and then like your support guy is like a stun based thing. So like Sword and Shield or Hunting Horn does a ton of damage, but also they're stunning them constantly because of the blunt damage or whatever. Or is it just their stun value? Is that that's called? I don't know. Like they have like if you hit like the hammer, Hunting Horn, Shield of Sword and Shield, like that has like that physical attack. That has like a stun value or whatever. And you like want that. That was like your support thing, and then how you're setting up with the bombs and traps to keep them locked down, and like watching like a good team like do it. Like that monster does not move for the 2-3 minutes that this fight happens. It's very cool. But it was a lot of fun. This American team showed up, and like they were really cool. Everyone had a good time. It was a good time. We got 4th. We're bad at the game, but it's fine. Japan's so much better than us. It was so crazy. But then they announced some cool things. They were like, hey, Arc-Tempered Lunastrat. I'm like, no thank you. And then Arc-Tempered Zora Magnaros. I'm like, I would love to see what that looks like. That sounds awesome. That was like a really cool fight. And to do it with 4 other people would be a lot of fun. So we'll see where that goes. But it was neat. And then like Pokemon is like, hey, we're gonna link a secret little Pokemon. You're like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. They have this new Pokemon, if you've seen this. It's a completely untextured gray body that looks like a Ditto. It's all like mush. And then like a lug nut on the head and a floating like eyeball. That's what Pokemon are now. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Don't you wish that existed in real life? What? No? Amazing. No one would love that. Like, it was apparently leaked in Pokemon Go, and like everyone's like, this just seems like a glitch. And I wish it was. But it's not. But it's not a glitch. Niantic was like, no, we leaked it on purpose. Oh, everyone can capture it. And I was like, why? Why do you do this? Actually, what does Cerebi say right now? I wonder if there's even been an update. I bet there has been. But it's so dumb. It's just such an ugly fucking Pokemon. No, there was no update. Just that it's spawning all over the place. It's so hideous. I was talking about it with a friend while because actually that's how out of Pokemon I am. Someone else told me about it. I didn't even know it happened. And like, he's like, oh, did you see the new thing? I was like, no, let me look at it. Like, wow, this is horrible. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. And he's like, well, it's better than the ice cream cone. And you know what? No, the ice cream cone's at least fun. The whole Vanillite line is like a delightful little thing. Like, fuck, it's like, it looks better. It actually has like, features. This fucking thing is hideous. Looks undone. Looks literally unfinished. It's horrible. And it's also kind of depressing that like Pokemon Go is where we're getting leaks now and big reveals. But fucking whatever. I think I'm just done. I don't even know if I'm going to make it to 2019. I don't really know. I just don't think I'm going to make it with Pokemon anymore. It's just such a hassle to be a fan of. Because they just do nothing but the wrong choice. It doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you get away with this for this long? I don't understand. And like, it's just, oh my god. So dumb. I watched their finals too, actually. And like, that was actually kind of fun. That was like a decent fight, because it's always better when the legendaries are kind of locked away. Once you get to like next year's is going to be really annoying, I think. Because like usually it's just like a year with like only what's like within that game cartridge, and then the next year is like everything that's ever been out there. And it's usually how like the pattern it goes. So that everything year usually is kind of a nightmare. Like was it 2016, 2015, something like that? Or was it 20? I don't remember. The one where it was like everyone had a Groudon, a Xemnas, not Xemnas. That's a Kingdom Hearts character. Wow, what is the thing called? The thing from X, the box legendary from X. Oh my god, I can't remember what this thing is called. I don't remember. The big deer. And then everyone had like a Rayquaza. There was a bunch of Rayquazas for a little while, but Groudon was like way better. What the fuck is that thing called? But yeah, it was like everyone had like a very similar thing. Like there used to be like what do you call it? There's like infographics like where it's got oh, here's all the Pokemon that were used in this year's thing, and then you like look through it and you're like, wow, this is like everyone is exactly the same. This is kind of ridiculous. And that happens frequently within the VGC things, which is kind of annoying, but yeah, what are you gonna do? Like how do you beat it? How do you get through that? I don't know. When you're allowed to do anything and like Pokemon's not very well balanced. Like, I remember one year Xerneas, that's what it was called. I remember one year it like literally the finals came down to a coin flip moment. And like everyone on Twitter was like, what the fuck is this game? Like all the pro players and stuff were like, what the fuck? This is horrible. I hate this. This is the worst. Because like that's what Pokemon is. It's just like a coin flip. It's terrible. But well, we love it though. We try to. I love it. And they released this stupid fucking Lugnut thing. And it's like, why? Why do you do this to me? Game Freak, what has happened to you? Like they announced that thing at the Nintendo Switch thing, the thing that Animal Crossing was announced at. Like that game Town, Game Freak's working on it, and I was like, I have no faith in this game. I have zero faith. Like, they fail so hard on Pokemon, I doubt they're gonna fucking do a good job on this fucking thing. And the sad thing, too, is that game Town is probably gonna look better than the new Pokemon game coming out. Because, like, they just suck. At least it's gonna run better, I'll tell you that much. Jesus. None of the Pokemon games run well, either. That's the craziest thing. Like, how do you lag in your competitive mode? The one you're going to put on stream and display to people. Christ. I don't even know. I hate just... why do they do this to me? I don't understand. It's the worst. It's the worst. But, I don't know. It's been a decent... It's been a lot of time. It's been a lot of time lately, like, going, just, like, rewatching stuff, trying to catch up on stuff. Trying to just... Like, I've been... Like, when I play the phone game a lot, for the Kingdom Hearts game, I just like leave it on, like, because they had like an auto feature, so it's like you're not really playing it, you're just like like navigating through menus and then just kind of letting it auto run. So I've been like watching a whole bunch of like old stuff that are like, I went back and like, you know how YouTube will like be like, hey, here's a video for you, and sometimes it's stuff you've already seen but you haven't seen it in like 2 years. And so that happened with me with Demolition D, who used to do a bunch of anime reviews, and then he left us. Demo, come back. And he's gone forever. He's not even like streaming, or like he barely uses Twitter or anything like that. It's so sad. I wish he'd come back. I love you. Come back. You're so funny. We need you. But watching a whole bunch of his stuff over the weekend while I played the phone game, goddamn delight. Mwah, delicious. But he kept mentioning because his videos are so old. There's like some of them like 2013, 2012. And it's like, wow, okay. Like that's where I found where Redline, I found out about Redline. It was like, back whenever he made that video, whatever that was, 2014 or something like that. And like all these other like anime movies and stuff. And every once in a while he would like mention, like when he was making videos, Little Witch Academia's Kickstarter was like the big trigger project. Like Kill la Kill was like just coming out. Like that's how old this is. And I never got to watch Little Witch Academia because it was like on Kickstarter and I didn't pay for anything because I ain't made the money. So I just only recently watched it because I was like, oh yeah, he keeps bringing this up and I should watch that. So it's on all Netflix. Because I remember seeing it. So I checked Crunchyroll and like, it's not here. I swear to God, I see it advertised everywhere. But it was Netflix because they ended up buying the rights for the TV show. They have like there's a TV show. There's the short. Is it a movie? Even if it's 55 minutes, whatever. The other movie and then the show. So I was like, oh fucking here it is. I'll watch this. And boy, what a delight! Who knew Harry Potter could be fun and interesting if it just had cute girls as every character? Who knew? So yeah. It's basically all it is. Just Harry Potter, but with cute anime girls. And like they're adorable and their little antics. And it's a lot of fun. It's like watching cotton candy. It's delicious and just delightful. Not delicious, that's a bad word for it. But like it's very delightful, heartwarming, sugary. It's like, oh, this is so sweet. I love this. They're just being goofs. And it's just the best. And I might watch the other things too, but I watched like the one short, that one from Kickstarter. It's only like 26 minutes. You can like burn through it, or 25 minutes, something like that. It's really short. You can burn right through it. And I was like, oh, this is really fun. The pacings are kind of whack because like it seems like it was clearly meant for like this bigger project, but they only like could do it for like, this very specific amount of time. But it was very fun to watch. So I might like start watching the other parts of it because it like had like this bigger world. They always like mention parts of this like bigger world and stuff, and like this like celebrity character that the main character's like obsessed with. So I'm curious how it all like plays in. I'm actually curious too where the second movie like takes part and takes up, and then where the series actually covers. But I would like to watch more of that. I actually do need to. I'm doing a Netflix series. I gotta watch the second American Vandal series because I was about to. And then I noticed on because I have my second monitor here, and I have my little BattleNet friends list open, like all the time. And so as I was pulling up American Vandal, I saw a kid I knew in high school playing WoW, and he was in an arena, and I was like, fuck, I wonder how he's doing. So I logged onto WoW to see if he played Alliance or Horde, because it doesn't really tell you that on the little thing here. And he's in arena, so I don't really know where he is. Like if it said he was in Stormwind, I'd be like, oh, he's clearly Alliance. But it wasn't clear, so I'd like log in, and I was like, oh, how's it going? We talked for like 2 sentences back and forth, then I was like, oh, hey, what are we doing for work? And he never mentioned anything ever again, so I don't know. Apparently asking what your job is was offensive, so I haven't heard from him since then. But, so I missed American Vandal, and I should go back and do that, because now I'm remembering that I had started and watched 1 second of it, and then went and did that. So I'm going to do that, I think. That'd be good fun. Because I love that first season, it's so good. So I bet the second one's just as good. It's only about like a poop thief or something. I don't even know. I'm not even sure what it's about. But I saw something on Twitter that was like, who is the poop something? I don't remember how it went, but that's hilarious. But yeah, that's great. I can't wait to do more of that. And I've been watching a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force too. So I was listening to a podcast and they like brought it up and like, you know what? I never watched all of that. So I went to my dear friends on the internet and I found all of it. And then I got all of it. Now it sits on my hard drive. And don't ask questions. And so I've been watching a bunch of that. Boy, what a good time. What a good time. Hilarious. Dumb as rocks, but boy, is it fun. Makes me feel warm inside. Similar to Willow Witch Academia. But with a shake, fries, and meat. I guess they're fast food, thing. I always thought meat wad is like a meatball, but I guess he's a meat wad, so he's just like a ball of meat. Not necessarily a meatball, but just a ball of meat. Boy, hilarious. Good, so good fun. And it's like such a silly thing that can go anywhere. Fucking wonderful. So many stupid little things that like I remember quoting all the time, like when I was younger and hearing the quotes all the time, just to see it all like come where it came from and play out, and like seeing some of the old episodes. It's something like how I watch Power Rangers, I'm like, oh yeah, this one, but with a bunch of crude humor, and it just tickles me so hard. It's so funny. It's delightful. I used to have it open like all the time on my computer, like just a little whatever my video player is. It just sat there, and I would just like open it, and they're like 12 minutes each, so you can just like put one on real quick, and then just move on to another thing. And then I had to restart my computer, and it closed, so I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it lately, so I need to do that because that was wonderful. It was wonderful to have just like sitting on all times where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna do this other thing. I'll put Aqua Teen on the other monitor and just do this thing real quick, because it's not like you have to really pay attention. It's fun if you do, because there's a lot of like really weird little jokes. Like there's an episode that opened, I don't remember if there's anything said before, plaque is a figment of the liberal media, and I was like, boy, that was the best sentence I've ever heard. And just like I pulled it back, and this is the whole conversation that Shake has with Meatwad about how like plaque and brushing your teeth is like not a good thing is awesome. Teeth are for gays. I don't have teeth. It's so funny. It was, oh my god. Just the stuff that they're saying. It's like I think it's like early 2000s. So like there's some of the jokes are like things you wouldn't hear anymore. Like, oh, this is really hilarious. And boy, is it like crazy. It's so ridiculous. I love it so much. I want to make plaque is a figment of the liberal media more of my life. I like that. That was so, I want to have that come up more in my life. And I love that like media is, so everything's on fire. So I can just bring that. I'm just going to use everything's a figment of the liberal media. I'm just going to keep using that now. I think it's such a, it's so delicious. So perfect. So stupid. And people are literally going to just believe you. Because that happens all the time. Or like I'll quote some dumb thing or like make fun of like people who act that way. And they're like, yeah, totally. I'm like, oh boy, I'm in for quite the conversation. This is going to be fun. But then you just get stuck with it. You're like, all right, here we go. I dug this hole. Now I'm gonna sit in it. But yeah, that was good. Love that show. And then I saw Mandy too. That's a good one. I recommend it if you can find it. It's like kind of a weird thing right now, like weird distribution. I think the place I went and saw it, they like did some kind of weird deal to get it. I don't even know. How's that for a transition? I just jumped right into this one. Doesn't even make sense. But we're doing it. So I just thought about it. I want to say some things. But it's great. So good. Oh my god. I loved it. It's a classic story. You've all been there. Man loves woman. Other man fails at music career, becomes cult leader, and wants woman to suck his dick, and then woman laughs at him, so he burns her alive, and then man murders everyone. You've all been there. Probably did it last week. It's the greatest. I loved it. It was so fun. And it was just a fucking good old time. It has weird pacing. Like, really in the beginning, it's real slow, but it was, like, fun to watch, like, where it was going. The cool, like, these, like, red floodlights all over the place. And, like, anytime you saw, like... I also don't know if, like, magic was real, because, like, this dude had, like, this ocarina, and every time you looked at it, like, this green floodlight just flashed over it, and that was cool. Anytime, like, there was, like, this mystical, like, object, it, like, flashed green, like, over it. He summoned the God Hand with it, or like a biker God Hand. And I don't know if they were just bikers that like the sound of an ocarina, and drink some kind of turbo acid, or they're just literally a mythical God Hand. I don't know. It was crazy. They just showed up and murdered folk. It was kind of cool. And then like the one guy had like a blade for a dick, and they drooled and made growling noises a lot. So I don't know if they were really monsters or just people in weird gimp suits, but I like to believe that they're monsters. It would be great. Because, like, who has I don't know if he, like, just strapped, a blade to his like, strap-on or something, but he walked around, or I don't even know. I don't really know what was happening. Because, like, he was just kind of sitting, doing cocaine. I think that was what that was. I'd imagine. It was a giant mountain of powder. And he was just watching porn, like really old. Well, the whole movie takes place in the 80s. So me saying it's really old-looking porn is probably just contemporary porn at the time of this movie, or when the movie takes place. It's made now, but and then yeah, he had like this big sword as a dick, and he tried to fuck Nick Cage with it. And there was like a dead guy in the house they were in whose like butt was covered in blood. I mean, they didn't show his butt, but they showed him like laying down on the bed, like kind of bent over it, and there's like blood from like his like tailbone down. So one can infer that he was fucked to death. And like I don't know if that's what happened, but then he had a big dick that was a sword, so I'm assuming that's what happened. And yeah, I don't know what this God Hand was, but they were fascinating. There's 3 of them. They had a lot of leather on and like spikes, and they didn't really have faces. They had like these weird like plastic faces, but they was like smooth plastic, and they drooled a lot, and they drank like turbo acid. I don't really know what it was. Nick Cage like did a bit of it in his mouth, and then this whole fucking like crazy amount of like, I don't know, it was like a crazy like trip happened. It was really cool. They would like change like mediums real quick. There was like a couple segments that were like animated or like stop motion, like this turbo acid scene. It was fascinating. I don't know like what, like it was weird. Like there was things in it that I don't really know where they came from, but I'm all about it. It was real cool. I don't know. It was a very interesting movie. I thought it would have more to do with music too, but it didn't, because like it opened with a King Crimson song and like this this text that was like, I forget what it said. Something about like if I die, or when I die, put headphones on me and let me rock and roll to my grave or something. I forget how it was worded, but there's something to that effect. But there was like no music, like no like contemporary music in it at all. It was kind of just like a weird synth thing and ambient noise. But it's fascinating. It was real good. I recommend it. It was fun to watch. Yeah, big fan. 10 out of 10. I don't know if it's 10 out of 10, but it was good fun. Probably closer to like an 8. That sounds right. That sounds like a good spot. And then what else? What else have I been doing? There's been so at work, I get a lot of downtime, obviously. And when I'm not dreaming of Monster Hunter, I read a lot of manga. As I did my old job, but I read more now. And I started reading Attack on Titan. Because season 3 started, or has been started, and I was gonna watch it, but like it's like that thing where you have to rewatch a section, and you're like, or like you read that section, and I gotta watch it, and I'm like, I don't really want to do that. Like, I kind of stopped watching My Hero Academia. It's like, well, I read this. It's like, what do I gain from watching this? Kind of nothing. So I haven't really watched it a bunch. That's kind of why I went and watched Little Witch Academia, because I was like, well, there's no manga of this, and it's like exclusively designed to be an anime, so this will be an interesting experience. Kind of like Cowboy Bebop, where like, this only really exists as an anime. This will be better this way, because this is the medium it was chosen to be made as. And so I was like, well, I'll not do that. And then but like with Attack on Titan, there was like that 3-4 year gap of like, here's season 1, and then who gives a fuck before season 2? It was just like, I've almost forgot about it. And it's like, oh, here it is, season 2. But I'm like, oh, it's been so long, I should rewatch season 1. And I never watched season 1 again. Then I never watched season 2. Now season 3's out, so who the fuck knows? I don't know how far they enter in it or whatever, but I was like, alright, I'm gonna just read it, and we'll get through it that way. That'll be best. If I can just read the manga. I have, downtime, I poop, whatever. I'll read Attack on Titan. The chapters are really long, and so I can imagine the update is slow. I don't think it's like, I think it's like once a month, maybe even less. I don't even know. Which is probably why there was such a big gap for the animes, because like they needed to like backlog a bunch of manga before they jumped the gun. So, well, we'll see. How it goes. But so I was like, all right, let me just read it. And starts off rough. Boy, the artwork sucks. I think I've mentioned that before on this show. But like I've passed through that part. The artwork is atrocious, and Eren Yeager is a fucking bitch. I hate him so much in the beginning. I hate him less now, where I'm at, which is like 30 chapters in, roughly? Somewhere between 25 and 30. Say that. Let's say 20 and 30. I'm not even going to commit to a 5-chapter gap. Look into it. It's like 20-something. I think I read 22 today. So 22 to 30, somewhere in there. And he's way more like compelling now, but like, boy, I'm surprised someone was like, this should be an anime. Because they really don't make Eren that awful in the anime. And I think the pacing is better too. Because like there's a part in the manga, like when they're doing the boulder in front of the gate thing, where like, whatever, they're trying to like seal that section up. It's like, I think it ends like they put the boulder down and then they cut back to their training section where they're like, hey, here's Eren and Armin and Mikasa in military school. And it's like, I don't give a fuck about this at all. We're on the new shit now. Why are we talking about the old shit? And I have no idea. I guess the only reason that's there is to like flesh out the other characters that are around those three. But like, why is that here and not when it was relevant? So I don't know. I feel like the anime did it different, where they had the training thing immediately after them joining the military, because it kind of went join the military, skip to their graduation, skip to this battle, and then skip back to their training. And I think the anime changed it, where they just took the training and put it in front of this battle and made it way more like make way more sense and not break the flow, because like big things were happening, and I'm like, I would like to see what the next big thing is. And move down this line of thinking instead of going back to like, Eren can't use vertical maneuver here. And like, I don't give a fuck. You know it now. So like, where's the tension here? I don't give a shit. So that's always annoying. So I want to say they adjusted that in the anime and they like kind of fixed some things. Like I know like the Made in Abyss anime is like apparently really good, but I chose to read Made in Abyss, and as explained earlier, I don't really often go back. It's very hard for me to like want to do that. But from what I've heard is they like actually like fix a lot of the pacing, and I think they also removed a lot of the pedophilia stuff that happens in that manga. It's so weird and gross. And that one updates like every fucking once a month, and I can't. It's so poorly written. I have no idea what's happening. I'm like, I have to read the last chapter just to figure out what's going on in this chapter. Horrible. Why do they do? I don't understand. And like they have some cool ideas, but like it's so poorly drawn and like so poorly written. That's Made in Abyss though. We're getting off topic of Attack on Titan. Made in Abyss is a mess. And that's another thing where it's like, how did someone see this nightmare and be like, you know what? I'll make a good anime out of this. And apparently it's really good and like emotional and stuff, but I can't. Every time I read it, I'm like, I don't know what's happening, and it's so poorly. This drawing's such a mess. I don't know what I'm looking at. Especially because like they have so many creatures that like are this crazy design, and like your brain doesn't know what to make of it because you've never fucking seen it, like, unobscured. So it's like, oh, I'm seeing this like 7-legged creature and like it's running, so like its legs are kind of weird. No, I have no context what this fucking thing looks like. Stop just drawing it like a nightmare and just scribbling all over the fucking page. It's horrible. It's so dumb. And like Attack on Titan suffers from this too. It's a very scratchy drawing style and like it looks fucking weird and like sometimes it looks unfinished and it's possible that it's unfinished, which is kind of crazy because they take so long between chapters, but it is 50 pages a chapter, so it's possible like that they just run out of time, but it's not as bad. It's more like, oh boy, you could have redone this face, or like, that's not how a human body works. However, that does work in its favor when it comes to drawing Titans, because them looking close to a person, but not really at all, is like kind of unsettling, where it's like, oh, that is not what a person looks like, but boy, is it close. It's that Uncanny Valley thing, where it's like, that does, like, and you see a lot if you go to DeviantArt and look up like fan art of some fucking anime, like, boy, that looks bad. It's all in the face, because they don't know how to draw a face properly. Or like they draw the face like very straight on, and Attack on Titan has straight on face syndrome a lot in the early chapters. They fix it later. They're a lot more dynamic with like where the actual human characters' faces and stuff like that, and how they can position and pose. So he clearly got better at drawing. But the Titans like always keep like a very weird look to them, and that adds a lot to it. And I remember watching a video once where it was kind of like, I think, and they were trying to explain like the reason it does so well both in the West and in Japan, and it's because it's got the like a kaiju effect to it, and like the little guy fighting the big thing, like stuff that they really like over there. And then we have over here, it's very much like a zombie story at the same time, but also with that little guy fighting the big thing. It's kind of a mix of both worlds. It helps everyone like have a baseline for it like right away. Like, oh right, I understand how this concept works because of this. But I want to get through it because apparently it gets really interesting. I remember I was watching something, and they were like, if you keep up with the manga, you know what I mean about this. And it was some really interesting idea. I can't remember what it was. Which I guess it's probably for the best because I would like to go in it kind of blind. And I'm coming up to, like where the anime ends. They catch the first major bad guy Titan. That's where I'm at right now. And when that Titan is defeated is where the anime season 1 ends, I believe. There's a fight in a city between Eren and like the first bad guy, and then Eren wins, like I forget how though. So that'll be nice to like, it's weird. I understand like the beats it's gonna take, but I don't remember how it gets from point A to point B. So like I remember that, but I think that's how it ends. I think it ended because I remember like the camera like pulling away from the city, and you kind of see some of the destruction of like Eren standing over like the whole thing. So I remember that being like part of it, but I don't remember how a lot of stuff gets where it's going to get. And so I'm very interested in seeing where... I remember I was watching something. I think it was that same video. And they were just talking over like stuff that like footage from the second season. And there was like a bunch of these people standing in like the big trees. I think that's where they were. And they were all... I don't recognize any of them, but I think they were also like people Titan things. And I was like, oh, this is very interesting. There's like an army of them. Like, what is their thought? Like, why they do these things? I just hope... It seems like there's like a bigger thing happening, and I hope it nails that. Because like when it first starts, they haven't done it since. And like, I want to say 20, not 20, because I'm about 25 in. So maybe for like 20 chapters, they haven't, like they used to start chapters with a number randomly. It was like, I don't know if that was the year then the story was taking place. So it was like 840 and then 847. Or I don't know if that was like a year, or was it counting down? It was either counting down or counting up. I don't even remember. That's how like, they weren't very close together in proximity. So I don't really understand what that number was. But I don't know if it's like a countdown or years since Titans came around or what that was. And then there's a part, like in the very beginning, like Eren's asleep and then wakes up and he's crying. He's like, I don't know why I'm crying. And I don't know what that means. That's pretty fascinating. Like that, for those first few pages are very interesting, like good hooks. You're like, I don't know anything is happening here, but this is all really interesting. And then it kind of just spirals into, wow, Eren is a cunt. I hate this character. He is so annoying. And then he slowly becomes better over time. But boy, is he bad. Some of his writing's so bad where it seems like it's a translation error, but everyone else is written fine. He just sounds like a fucking idiot. You're like, oh, this is a translation error. You're just a terrible character. Well, hopefully this won't happen. There's a section where you think he's like just not the protagonist anymore, and it was awesome. I was like, boy, Mikasa really should be the protagonist. She is way more interesting. Kind of weirdly, and they kind of comment on this in the part I just went over. Like Armin and Mikasa are like weirdly like super into Eren, to the point where like people are like, what is wrong with you people? Why are you so in love with this guy? And like one of the characters like makes fun of Armin for him like is like blindly like following Eren. And kind of, yeah, why? Eren's awful, and like you two are way more interesting than he is. He just happens to have the super special power and like a mystery family member that like, whoa, what's going on? But other than that, like you two are way more interesting. And like Mikasa would be more interesting if she wasn't like weirdly like motherly and tethered to Eren, but what are you gonna do? We'll see where it goes. There's only like 100 chapters of it. Granted, they're all 50 pages, so it's like almost like 200 chapters if like, you know, a normal shonen being like 19, 20-ish pages. So it's almost like 200-ish. There's like 111-ish, 115, 20-ish. So it's a little bit closer to like a typical like shonen jump run. Currently, like some of the newer stuff. I think like, is it Dr. Stone just hit 200 or something? I forget. Oh no, that can't be real. Did Dr. Stone really hit 200? Let me just see real quick. No, it's 75. What hit 200? Oh, My Hero Academia hit 200. Yeah, My Hero Academia is about 200. That's what it was. So it's like around there in terms of length. So hopefully it keeps up. Because I hear it hits like a lull point, like right after where season 1 ended. There's a section where it's like just politics and a lot of talking and like no real action for a long time. So hopefully that's not as boring as it sounds and it like keeps up with like kind of the action and the interesting stuff. Because I'm really nervous that it's going to like reveal the mystery and it's like, haha, this sucks. Like, I don't care about any of this. Like, it was more fun going for the ride of like, I don't know what's happening, but once we know what's happening, kind of like a horror movie, we're like, this is cool. And then you see the monster and you're like, this is less cool because there's no mystery here. So hopefully it doesn't bite itself in the ass by kind of having that, like, this little circle jerk of like, oh, I wonder what's going to happen. Oh, we don't know what thing happens and we don't know what it is. So hopefully it finds its footing and then like, you know, the basement reveal and which I feel like I have a guess, but I'm just going to keep it to myself until it happens. But like, it seems like it's, you know, obviously what the Titans are. I mean, they say that directly. What's in the basement tells you what the Titans are. Da, da, da. So hopefully it's not like where they're being kept is like that's, you know, this is not the only remaining thing of society. It doesn't pull a village, basically. The M. Night Shyamalan movie. Hopefully it's not something like that. That would be really annoying. I don't understand why it would do that. I mean, I guess it could, but like it's also kind of weird, you know? So we'll see what happens. It's also, one last side note, it's weird how many people die in that series, but like the human population doesn't seem to dwindle at all. Like at one point, they're like 90% of the Survey Corps has died, but they still have like a massive army. So I don't understand I don't understand the numbers. Like because everyone's like, oh, the Survey Corps, fucking dangerous, don't join them. But they have a giant army, so like, but then they lose 90% of their people. I don't understand. The numbers don't make any sense. Like, who is joining them? Like, I think like 8 people joined them in this one class, or whatever. Maybe let's go on a generous side, 15 to 20. Like, that's not enough to fill in all the 90% of the gaps that you're. I don't understand. Because like they're always like, oh, every single time they go out, they lose someone. Every single time we ever see any of these engagements. I'm pretty sure in this one mission, somewhere bordering on 20-something people have just been murdered viciously. I don't know how many people are in a division or a squad or whatever. A squad, I think that's what they're being called. So, I don't know. But, like, it seems like a lot of people are dying. So, I don't know. And, like, when the one wall falls in the beginning, they're like 20% of the human population is dead. How are you keeping up? That's a lot of people. Like, you don't have a lot of people. So if like 20% of like the world population currently died, that's a fuckload of people, but there's a lot of people. There is very few people. So that 20% is a massive chunk of the population of what apparently is all humanity. So I don't understand. It makes weirdly little sense. And like it's very partially also kind of confusing as to like where they are spatially when they're like near or away from the city. So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. But that's all I'm going to do right now. I said all the things I wanted to say. I need to finish this Red Bull. I gotta pee though, and I'll see what I can do. But all good fun. Lots of thoughts. Monster Hunter's so good. I might play that for the rest of the day, and then go out for a minute. But it's so fun. I get to kill monsters. Simple Task is back. That's a great event quest. Get all these fucking tempered threat level 2 tracks. Can't wait to get more of those. Gotta get these investigations, so I can get more of these fucking decorations. And then there's also the fucking, what is it called? The delivery task or something? The one that fucking gets you the tempered tracks for or Elder Dragons. And that one's also out right now. I mean, every fucking one is out right now. And luckily, I don't need any of the KT weapons because I don't want to run fucking KT really at all. It's so much work. You can't like solo it really because you need the full server or whatever to really take it down in an efficient way. And yada yada yada. I just don't want to deal with that. It's so much work. So I'm just not gonna worry about it. I mean, I guess you could do it in like a team of 4, but I also don't know 4 people who want to play. I only know one other person right now. So hopefully everything is fun. I'm going to probably just do some of the events that I need to do. I'll see so many research points. I got things to do. Things and stuff need to happen, and we're going to get it done. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself. I had way more to say than I thought I would, to be TBH. But, yeah. So hopefully more to come from yours truly. I got to pee real bad right now, so I'm just going to wrap this shit up. All right, so, do things on the social media, Twitter, email the show, yourbrandtown@gmail.com. Rate it on iTunes, ? Never actually asked to have that happen. I don't even know how it works, but if you can figure it out, do it. I think that would be kind of neat. I don't know. These call to actions. Apparently you're supposed to do them. I don't know. What are you going to do? But yeah, is that it? I think that's everything. Is that all the things that you can do to get to me? I think, pretty much. Whatever. I'm done. All right, so, I don't know what is the future for this. Probably soon. I don't know. Maybe someone will be here. Who knows? Keep you posted. But not really. I'll just kind of do it, and then we'll see what happens. Bada boom. Yeah, so that's that. I'm done. I gotta pee real bad. So, in the name of our Lord and Savior, yeah, alright. Ignore me, but not all the things I said previously. Okay, goodbye. Love and kisses.